So we're putting together a short guide just to make sure everybody's safe and following the rules when they come back to training. So the first point is coming into the ground. Obviously the car park will be open, and we're asking everybody just to apply common sense rules and apply normal social distancing rules. And really importantly, it's one parent per child coming to the ground, and obviously people can't car share, so we need a child and a parent here, and that's really important for first aid reasons as well. If a child is taken unwell, the parent needs to come and attend them. So when you come into the ground, the first thing you'll see is the guide. So we've clearly labelled the training areas, and managers will be confirming to all parents what training area they've been allocated on the given training evening. You've also got the do's and don'ts and guides to making training and football safe at Moorgreen. We'll also be adding some more information on this board here, and you can also see there's no access to the stand. So we don't want people congregating in this area. We also, even if it's raining, we don't want people to come into this area because we can't adhere to social distancing rules. And really importantly as well, we've asked managers to let people know there will be no toilet facilities at the ground either. So training will be limited to a 1 hour session, and there will be no T-bar facilities and no toilet facilities. So when you come into the ground, you'll see there's a one-way system. This is marked out by the blue areas, and you can see we've got a one-way system that goes all the way around the ground. So as you come in, you'll come in and access your pitches this way, and as you'll exit from the far side, and you'll exit from your pitch area and walk safely round behind the barriers and safely to your cars, always observing social distancing rules at all times. So when you come in for your training session, you should know your pitch number, which has been confirmed by your manager. And all pitches, there's only 3, all pitches have been marked out on the ground. As you can see, this is pitch 1, and then logically pitch 2, and right at the far end is pitch 3. So the players can come straight into the training area if they wish to, but parents, we absolutely need you to walk the one-way system to the end of your pitch area and then follow the gap between the pitches, observing social distancing rules, and observe your training session on the far side of the ground. So if you're on pitch 1, you'll be observing your team training on that far side, observing social distancing at all times, and the same for pitches 2 and 3 on the far side of the ground. Just to make sure people do understand the rules on each area, the signs clearly labelled which you can read on different parts of the ground. So we've got some of the same do's and don'ts and map guide here. We're still following the one-way system, so we're walking up to access our first pitch. As you can see, there's still signs here as well, so people, it should be fairly straightforward to follow and come into your training area safely. And now we've come to the first access point for the training pitches. So this side we've got pitch 1, and this side we've got pitch 2. And as you can see, if you just look down, we've got a one-way system here where you can then access safely with a good distance between the 2 training pitch areas, and then you'd go and watch your team from the relevant side. So if you're on pitch 1, you go in to the right there and to the left of this side, and it will all be signposted at the far side to let you know. Just a few other bits we've talked about for training safety. If players are bringing water bottles down for drinks, can they please label them? And we'd suggest really they stay with the parent and they go and access the drink from the parent so that they're not mingling together at break time. If parents want to bring down any towels or any additional equipment, please make sure it's labelled and kept with the parent, and then that player can access it safely without needing to go and break social distancing rules, because at all times during training social distancing rules apply. And what will happen on the pitches, there will be no more than 5 players per coach in a bubble, and that can't be broken in the session, so they'll only stay with the same players for that session and that coach. And that's there to ensure that we don't break the rules that the FA have given us. And at all times, players and coaches must adhere to the 2-metre distance rule during the session. So there's going to be very little equipment, there's not going to be goals, we can't play matches, but we can run some focused sessions that don't break rules. So we're now at the far side of the pitch, where we want parents to safely adhere to social distancing rules whilst they're watching the sessions. And importantly, when you leave the ground, you'll follow the one-way system, and you'll follow it round the outside of the barriers and return straight to the car park. And there won't be any hanging around and conversations there. We want a straight exit because we'll have other teams coming in. We want to make sure that we're maintaining social distancing rules as the FA have advised. And that will be the same for the other 2 pitches, pitch 3 and pitch 2 here. Parents will exit around the back of the ground staying to the right side of the blue line, always adhering to social distancing rules. And at any point, if anybody's got any questions, we'll always have a member of the committee here, and they'll be visible in the ground. So again, with social distancing rules, please go and approach that member of the committee if you have any concerns or questions about anything to do with training safely at the ground again. Managers will have some kit available, so the club have provided hand sanitizer and a number of other things to ensure we're safe when we're training, but we'd really encourage parents to bring their own hand sanitizer for their kids, and we'd ask as players come into the ground that they use hand sanitizer before and as soon as you leave the training area. We'd suggest you use hand sanitizer again. And also, when the sessions are ended, any waste that's been produced, any rubbish that's at the end of the sessions, there will be bins specifically provided for the disposal of any rubbish, and they will be disposed of by the club. So we want to contain that as it is. So please use the bins that are provided, and they'll be clearly out on the ground. Obviously, we want all of our players to come back and train at Moorgreen, but we need to be safe when we do that, and we need to follow the guidelines. So if any players have shown or developed symptoms related to COVID-19, please don't bring them to the ground. If any players have any medical concerns that mean they don't want to come to the ground, that's absolutely fine. And just if generally people want to wait a little bit before they feel safe and comfortable to come back to the training, this is not mandatory. We want people to come back when they're ready. Our main focus at Moorgreen is safe training of all of our players and all of our children, and the safety of our supporters as well. So it's really important for us that we do this right, and we hope you enjoy and return to football at Moorgreen and have a safe time.